Well, protect yourself at all times. We are on it. Here we go. Ron Futrell with the latest edition of the Vegas Sportscast for this Tuesday. Doing a second version. The first one had some crackling audio in it, so hopefully this one does not. Not sure why. But anyway, that being said, here we go. Okay, we got Vegas Golden Knights tonight. Talk about that game. UNLV football and basketball both in action. Got some things happening that you need to know about for this week. And the big story, of course, groundbreaking last night for the Las Vegas Stadium. Raider Nation was out in force last night. A lot of fans out there. That was sort of fun. And you had a lot of former players out there that were here in town for this event. Let's see, Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner, was there. George Lopez emceed the event. Great optics, as they say, okay? This had great. It just looked good out there with the tent set up and wide open towards it was on the southwest end of the strip. And so we were looking straight towards the Luxor, towards Excalibur, towards that. We had Mandalay Bay there as well. So it looked great. Beautiful night for it. Groundbreaking for the Las Vegas Stadium. So now the work begins. So after the fun last night, had Mark McDane, the president of the Raiders, had, owner of the Raiders, Mark Davis was there, the governor was there, Brian Sandoval, and I could list a dozen former Raiders that were there right off the bat. Howie Long, good to see him there last night. Jim Plunkett, David Hom, Darryl LaMonica, a bunch of local former Raiders. You had Napoleon McCallum, Frank Hawkins, list goes on and on and on. Cliff Branch was there as well. So there we go. So excited about this opportunity here for the Raiders coming here to Las Vegas. They plan on playing 2 more seasons there in Oakland, waiting for the stadium to get built. There is some work to do, significant work to do, before they get the stadium built, before they get it approved. Even though they did the groundbreaking last night, there's been groundbreakings on a lot of buildings that never happened. That being said, don't want to be the cynic, but sort of am sometimes with this one. At least I've got, in this town, I've learned I got to see it before I believe it. You know, you just don't take it on face value sometimes, because it's in this town. Face value isn't always what it seems. So that being said, they've got to get the permits, got to get the cash to be able to make it happen. The Raiders are hoping to get their portion is $500 million. They're hoping to raise their portion through selling of seat licenses and suites. They've got the staff here in town. They've got an office at Town Square here in Las Vegas that's going to be open the first week in December, where they're going to be selling those seat licenses and suites from. So they've invested some money, invested a lot of money into last night's event. You know, $100,000 or more to get everybody here and make it happen and really blow it all out. But the key now is that group, that little office at Town Square, to be able to sell the seat licenses, to be able to generate the revenue that they can use to get their portion of the $500 million that they need for the stadium to be built. Also, Bank of America is putting in $500 million. That money still has not been guaranteed yet. Still waiting for that. They've said they're going to do it, but it's not here yet. So waiting for that one. Let's see, in the last, $750 million from taxpayers. Oh, that's sort of a big deal. Largest sum ever for taxpayers to pay for a stadium to be built for a sports franchise, by far. Largest before this was, it would have been Texas Stadium, Jerry Jones, now AT&T Stadium, about $250 million taxpayers in Texas put out for that stadium there in Dallas. So there's a lot on the line, and the rest of the money, it's about a $2 billion stadium, so the rest of the money is small sources, other areas. They've got a tax issue they've got to worry about right now with the Republican tax plan. If it gets passed by Congress, it's going to add more to the cost of the stadium. So, and the permits. So got to get those done, got to get it moving. Got to see something. Got to see some structures going up there on that side. That's going to be the key part, is to see it being built. Not just have a groundbreaking, not just talk about it being built, but see it being built. is going to be the big key from here. So we'll keep you posted on that. Raiders, by the way, playing against the New England Patriots in Mexico City on Sunday. Raiders 7-point favorites in the game. So they are +7 in the game. Or I actually said that wrong. 7-point underdogs. 7-point underdogs. They are getting 7 points in the game. New England Patriots are -7. There you go. Okay, put it that way. Make it simpler. But the Raiders are underdogs, 7-point underdogs in the game on Sunday. Rams, by the way, playing. They got a big game at Minnesota, so we'll see what the Rams can do on the road there. Right now, the highest scoring team in the NFL. They do play the Eagles a little bit later in the year, so Rams and Eagles will be a matchup of two of the top teams in the NFC. So there you go. We'll see. Oh, Stan Kroenke was here last night. The owner of the Rams was in Las Vegas for that groundbreaking. So it was good to see him here. Guy who brought the Rams back to Los Angeles. So I know St. Louis fans, you're not happy about it, but it did sort of take the team first 21 years ago, okay? So now they're back where they belong. That being said, we got hockey tonight. Okay, let's go there. We've got tonight, good matchup as Vegas Golden Knights take on Edmonton. Golden Knights 10-5-1. Edmonton 6-9-2 are the records. But Edmonton is -185 in the game. So, Golden Knights, significant underdogs in this one. A couple of reasons why. They don't play often. They don't play well on the road. It's not that they've gotten blown out on the road. They just are losing 3-2, 2-1, shootout at Toronto, things like that. They're losing close games on the road, so they're not winning the close ones on the road. So that is part of the reason. The other is Luka Spiza is not going to be making the trip for this game, so he's not going to be there. And he's the guy that's on the guy. He's usually the guy that the Knights put on the opponent, the top opposing player, to be able to shut him down. And he's been very effective defensively. And he's going to be out, so he's not there. And, by the way, they're playing one of the best players in the NHL tonight, Connor McDavid. Keep an eye on him. See what he does. He's Rookie of the Year last year in the NHL, so that's who the Golden Knights have to contend with tonight. And they are taking Malcolm Subban, goalie, onto the trip with them, which means he will likely be the backup goalie to Max Legacy. And I'm guessing that Dylan Ferguson, who is the 19-year-old kid, good kid, talked to him the other day after practice yesterday. Probably, he's from the Vancouver area, so they might be just dropping him off there and let him continue to play there in that area, and then before he goes to Chicago, back there to compete in the minor leagues for the Golden Knights. He hasn't seen any action in any games, but gotten some valuable experience in the nets in practice for the Golden Knights. So look for that to happen tonight. We'll see what happens. I like the Golden Knights in this situation. I think they're a better team than what people realize. They're not getting a whole lot of love, a whole lot of credit by the bookmakers yet. And there's a lot of people, if you're betting them, that are making money off them. Rebel football and basketball. Okay, a couple of things going on there. Rebel basketball plays Wednesday. So that would be tomorrow night if you're listening to this on the Tuesday. They've got a game Wednesday against Prairie View A&M, I believe is what they are. Prairie View, or maybe just Prairie View. But they won their first game by 42. They should win this one by 42 as well. So they're taking, these are almost exhibition games, but they count as regular season games. So Rebels, blowout wins, keep them coming early in the season. They do have Arizona later this year and a possible matchup with Utah if the tournament goes as it's scheduled to go or should go. So they got some tests coming up a little bit later before they get into conference play. But, hey, it's getting close to the holidays, so that's what you do early in the season during the holidays. Rebel football, very clear, very simple, straight. What they've got to do, they've got to win 2 games to go to a bowl game. They are 4-6 right now with 2 games left in the season at New Mexico, at Reno. Win both games, they go to a bowl game. Split them, they're done. And lose them both, and they're really done. It'll probably come down to that loss at Howard at the start of the season, and I said it at the time that this could be just the game that keeps the Rebels out. They were favored by 43 points against Howard, ended up losing by 3 at home. Yeah, my math is right on that, okay? But that is the game that really has cost them this year. So if they end up winning one, losing one, and they don't make a bowl game, there you go. We will point to that Howard loss as the loss that cost them the bowl game. That being said, Rebels still got a shot, okay? So the optimistic side of it is, hey, they still got a shot. Just win these 2 games and we'll forget the Howard game. All we'll be thinking about is the bowl game they go to. So they still control their own destiny. At New Mexico Saturday, at Reno on the Saturday after that. So the Saturday of Thanksgiving week, right around there. So that's what they got going on. That's what's happening here for Rebel football. So a lot going on sports-wise here in town. So that should do it. Wrap it up for this Monday. I hope you all have a good one. Thanks for listening, and tell a friend. Spread the word. The Vegas Sportscast, #1 sports podcast in Las Vegas. And you can find us on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Play. Go to our website, thevegassportscast.com. Find us there. Or our Twitter page, which is at Vegas Sportscast. So thanks for listening. We'll keep doing this. Going to do a long form, I keep promising, but Bill O'Donnell and I will get together do another long form one before too long. Schedules are sort of busy this time of year, and we're jumping into the holidays. So there you have it. That's the way I see it. Ron Futrell. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye for now.